Hi everybody, my name is Denver. I'm from the United States, and today is Zamenhof Day. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Esperanto and what it's about and how it's helped me to do things in my life and how it's bettered me. So first, a little bit about me. I'm 25 and I'm living in Spain right now as an English teacher. I moved here 2 years ago now, and I found Esperanto because an ex-girlfriend and I were really into languages, and we really wanted to make our own language. Ended up breaking up, but I found Esperanto, and I thought, wow, this is kind of interesting. And so I moved to Zaragoza, and I found a group of people here that spoke Esperanto, and so I got together with them, and I had them teach me Esperanto, and they helped me out, and I've been learning ever since. I'm still learning. But this year, I was invited to go to the Spanish Congress, and I was able to do that, and it was fantastic because I was able to meet many people from many different countries. I met somebody from Vietnam, I met somebody from Singapore, I met somebody from China, from Brazil, many different kinds of people. And after learning this language, I was able to travel some more. This last summer, I was able to travel around Eastern Europe and meet some people who spoke Esperanto. And let's see, a little bit about Esperanto, done about myself. So Esperanto is an artificial language. It was created in the late 1800s by a man named Dr. Zamenhof. And he was an optician, if I remember correctly. And he created this language because all of the European languages together were very difficult to understand and to communicate in between and amongst the Europeans. And so he thought, well, if we could have another auxiliary language that everybody would learn, then they could all get along and understand each other easily. Because many of the problems came from misunderstanding from translations, because, not everybody's perfect. And so he decided, well, I'm going to make this language very simple. I'm going to take things from all of the current European languages, and I'm going to mush them all together into one, and cherry pick the easiest parts, the best, most simplest, logical parts, and make them into a language. And so what he came out with was Esperanto, which means the hopeful one in the language Esperanto. And so when he published his first book called Unuo Libro, it was the first book, he published it under his pseudonym of Doctoro Esperanto, And so this is the basic history, and Esperanto did pretty well. It almost made it into being the European language, but it died out in the votes. So let's see a little bit more about Esperanto. There are many different books written in Esperanto, many originals and many copies. There is actually a movie that was filmed in Esperanto that has William Shatner as a star. And I think it was filmed in the 60s. I don't remember. I've never actually seen it. I've heard about it, though. And let's see. A little bit else. There are tons and tons of self-learning books. There are lots of children's books. And speaking of children, there are quite a few, actually. There are quite a few native speakers of Esperanto now. It's becoming a popular thing amongst the speakers, is to teach your children Esperanto as a first language. Estimates, because that's all we really have, estimates have said that there are about 10,000 to 20,000, I don't know if it's true or not, but 10,000 to 20,000 native speakers, that is, speakers from birth, of Esperanto. And, of course, since it's a uncommon language, you want to learn another one too. So, of course, they know the language of the land that they're in, the country they're in. But it makes it very easy for them to be able to communicate, and for some of them, it's their main language with their family. I have done many studies in my school. I'm finishing a degree in communications, and I have done many studies on Esperanto, many studies on language learning in children, language learning in adults, and I've discovered that the best time to teach languages to children is, well, of course, while they're young. The earlier, the better. But that doesn't mean that if you're 60, you should not consider learning it, because it's so easy. There have also been studies that show that to master a language, you need a certain number of hours. For example, for English, you need 1,200 hours, 1,200 hours. For, I don't know, Japanese, you'll need 1,800 hours. And for Russian, you'll need 1,700 hours. But for Esperanto, 500. 500 hours in order to master a language. How would you like that? And in learning foreign languages, the problem that many people can't get over is the fact that they choose the hardest language, the exact one that they want, of course, who wouldn't, and they fail. Some people fail because they think it's too difficult. The problem is that they don't understand how they learn. So how do you get around that? Well, learning another language. So if you could learn how you learn by learning a language that requires, that you could be fluent in a year, 100% fluent in a year. If you tried, you could be 100% fluent in a year. And you could learn Esperanto, and then learn any other language you want, because then you know how you learn. For example, some people do flashcards better. Some people do rote memory better. Some people only learn by talking. But you don't know until you try. And once you have one language under your belt, the second one comes at half the time. I don't know if that's fact or not, but it comes in a lot of, and much quicker than it would be any other, in learning it just straight off the bat. So, anyways, back to the topic at hand. Today's Zamenhof Day. Today is a good day to celebrate and to spread the news of Esperanto and the fact that it is still alive. And we had a celebration today at our fratezzo, which is the group that we are in, and that I'm in Zaragoza here in Spain. And it was great. We had a person read some poetry that he made himself, and we had him read I'm forgetting my English right now. A lecture about how the name of the street that we are on in Zaragoza, how it came to be, because it has an interesting backstory. And yeah, it was very interesting. And I think that there are many people around the world who are having parties today, and, well, we just wanted to let you know that Esperanto is still alive, and it's growing. It's getting bigger every day. And yeah, we hope that you might decide to join us someday. And it's a very easy language. If you have any questions about wanting to learn it, just ask anybody. I'm sure anybody will be willing to point you to somebody who knows, or point you to the best place to learn. Right now, currently, I'm learning on a language system called Duolingo. It's a really nice language learning platform that you can learn many other languages in. And, well, I'd like to just close today by saying thank you for watching my video. If you made it actually to the end, I'm surprised. It's almost 10 minutes long. But anyways, so I appreciate the fact that you took the time to get out here, and I wanted to say thank you very much. So I hope you take a chance to look at Esperanto. It will be worth your time, because the people who choose to learn the language now are really, really good people. And if you choose to learn a language that's up and coming, you're a special kind of person. So you get to meet a lot of cool people and get many opportunities to travel. All right? So we'll say, Gis la revido. Until next time. All right? Adiao.